I just want to share some of my knowledge on the tennis goat list. Haha, no pun. Yeah, it was a pun that was intended. Okay. So I don't see and I don't agree with people who keep mixing Roger Federer in this list. Listen, Roger Federer is a top three tennis player of all time, but he's not the second and he's not the best tennis player of all time. And I made a similar video about this, but I just had further thoughts about this and more if like sorry for this fucking bug that happened in my head. The more I'm thinking about this, the more I disagree with Roger Federer being in the mix. So like this guy, first of all, look at the ATP list. This guy hasn't played in a season, in a whole calendar year, and is still ranked number 5. Like how lucky can you be? How lucky can you be to not play for a year and still be ranked number 5? That's amazing. And you got these tennis analysts like Matt Willander saying, oh, it's amazing how Rafa and Novak and Roger keep winning. I mean, Rafa and Novak, yeah, they do keep winning, but where is Roger? Like Roger is not winning. He's not even playing tennis. Like what are you talking about? Just because Corona hit and he has a protected ranking and is still world number 5 doesn't mean he keep winning. Like last time I saw Roger Federer play, he was absolutely destroyed by Novak Djokovic in Australia. Like he had no chance. Like he was playing serve volley the whole match because he was so afraid to play baseline points against Novak Djokovic. He knew he had zero chance. Every time Novak started a point, and it's not me taking shit to Roger Federer. That's a state of Roger Federer. Every time Novak started a point, he had no chance. He lost 80% of those points. Eric, I guarantee you, go rewatch the semifinal of 2020 Australian Open, and you cannot tell me that Roger Federer returns, and beats even guys like Medvedev and Thiem and Tsitsipas and Zverev. Like, I mean, those guys are really good baseline point players. You cannot tell me that Roger, who does not have it anymore, like he cannot play points that are longer than 10 shots on a consistent base on the baseline. He's going to beat guys like Medvedev and Thiem who are just beasts. I mean, they are starting to beat Rafa and Nadal at hard courts. I mean, Jesus, what the hell they will do to 40-year Roger Federer? But okay, that's Roger is getting old, whatever. But my whole point of this video is my disagreeing of how people view Roger Federer, because we are obsessed with his volumes test. We are obsessed with his 310 weeks that is getting broken. We are obsessed with his 20 Grand Slams that is already tied and is going to get broken. We are obsessed with these numbers, like big numbers that he piled up in the beginning of his career, right? Look at his career from 2011 and compare it to Novak and Rafa. So isn't it weird that, and I mentioned it in my previous video, isn't it weird that Roger had 16 Grand Slams from the start of his career until 2011, and then in 2011 when or late 2010, 2010 was a great Rafa Nadal season. 2011 was the start of the Novak Djokovic era. Since then, he has won 4. And you can come at me and say, well, he got old. He was 29, 30. What the hell did Novak and Rafa do when they were 29 and 30? They kept winning Grand Slams. So you cannot tell me that these guys, ended and these guys were younger. And Roger, you're supposed to step in your prime when you were 29, 30. And listen, sorry for this. Listen, Novak Djokovic is, when it comes to Grand Slam matches, he's in his prime right now. Rafa Nadal at Roland Garros in his prime right now. But Roger Federer is not, wasn't, and you can see the results. He had a bunch of final losses from 2011 to 2015, 2016, pre-injury. Or he had I think he had injury in 2016, and then of course he won some Grand Slams in 2017. So he was in his prime, but these guys were simply better than him. Like Rafa Nadal pre-prime, Novak Djokovic pre-prime were better than Roger Federer at his prime. And you can tell me shit that Roger Federer at his prime was 26, 2007, 2008, 2009. No, Roger played same or better tennis in 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015. But he was just getting beaten by better guys. Like, because Rafa and Novak are just better players than Roger Federer. And one thing that I also disagree is this pushing of Roger Federer. Like, they have been pushing Roger Federer like a WWE push, like John Cena or Roman Reigns before WrestleMania. This Roger Federer is in the GOAT conversation. Roger Federer is the GOAT. And like, I understand that Roger Federer is great marketing. He makes a shitload of money of making Rolex commercials. But post Rafa and Novak outbreak, that's a weird word to use. Um, he has had the career of Andy Murray. He has 4 Grand Slams, 5 final losses, and I think 11 semifinal losses since 2011. Andy Murray has 3 Grand Slams, 8 final losses, and 10 semifinals in his career. So that's Andy Murray. And Andy Murray's career was really 10 years. So Roger and Andy, 10 years, they have roughly the same numbers. And nobody's talking about, well, now nobody's talking about Andy Murray being the GOAT. Back in the day, there was the agenda of the big four, right? Big four, guys. Roger has 20. Rafa has, what? He had like 16, 17 back then. Novak had, whatever, 12 or 16 back then, Grand Slams. And Andy Murray has 3. And, it's a big four, right? Andy Murray is the part of the big four. It's not. There was never a big four, because if you say big four, you can say big five, because Stan Wawrinka had the same amount of Grand Slams as Andy Murray. But yeah, let's it's. I understand the agenda. Listen, I never liked Andy Murray as a player. I love him as a person. I truly love him as a person. I think he's a great guy. And it's really awesome that he keeps playing. He knows that he cannot win Grand Slams. He knows that he pretty much sucks, but he still has the passion to play these challengers against these random 17-year-old guys. I mean, that's truly awesome and a more for real champion. I respect Andy Murray much more than I loved him and respected him back in the day when he was playing, because I truly didn't like his antics on the field and like on the tennis court or whatever. I didn't like his swearing. I didn't like his girlfriend swearing all the time. It's just like, and I didn't like the British crowd and the pushing them. And might be because I'm a Novak fan, so like I have a kind of weird thing with the British crowd because they don't really like Novak. But yeah, whatever. So I don't agree with like Roger Federer's placement. I get it. Like, you want to push him, but it's so artificial. It's so artificial to say Rafa, Novak, and Roger keep winning. No. When was the last time Roger won a tennis match? It's like he's recovering from that knee injury for a year. I mean, it's like the way that he's playing and the way that his schedule looks, he's basically like focusing on one tournament, which is Wimbledon. I don't think he's going to play in Roland Garros. He missed 3 Roland Garroses on purpose. It's just, I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it. I think it's there. And volume stats. You can talk about volume stats as much as you want to. Every single Roger Federer volume stat is going to get broken. By the way, he doesn't even have the biggest number of Masters. He has 28, Novak has 36, Rafa has 35. He doesn't have the biggest number of season-ending number 1 season-ending tournaments. No, he does not. It's Novak. Grand Slam tied with Rafa. Weeks at number 1 going to get broken by Novak. So all of his volume stats, he still has, actually the biggest number of wins, so on, so on. That's going to get broken. And yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to my take on Roger Federer. Hey, listen, I hope you didn't get offended. I think this is the truth. I'm sorry. He's great, but he has been pushed for the past 10 seasons without showing much results. So yeah, thank you very much, and cut.